After months of speculation on where Giannis was planning on going, he's proved everybody wrong by signing a 5-year, $228 million supermax contract. With a contract like that, he's made it very clear that he's intending on staying in Milwaukee. I already made a video on where I thought he might sign and how things would change based on that. So this video is about how Giannis staying with the Bucks will change things for the league. Now before we get this video started, I just want to say, as always, if you like this video, be sure to leave a like. And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. And let's get right into it. Giannis Antetokounmpo is to many the best player in the world right now. His combination of speed, agility, size, and strength create one of the most dominant players we've ever seen. While his playstyle does have some issues, the offseason addition of Jrue Holiday can be crucial in fixing those problems. In the past 2 years, good defensive teams have been able to take advantage of Antetokounmpo's flaws with unique defensive systems. The main reason why it was easy to upset the Bucks in a 7-game series was Giannis being the primary ball handler. While he does have some ball handling skills, he's average at best compared to other guards, and is much better off in the post. In my video on what the Bucks had to do as a team to fix their issues, I said they needed a new ball handling guard who can also shoot and won't choke in the playoffs. Jrue Holiday, in my opinion, is exactly what they needed. With a coaching change and some new good additions, I think Giannis now feels like he can really win in Milwaukee and isn't planning on leaving anytime soon. While the Bucks are still one of the best teams in the East, I predicted them to be the first seed again. Nothing is going to be easy for them. I made a video on how good the Nets will be, and nothing from that has changed yet. I think the Nets will be the 2nd seed in the regular season, because KD will have to get some initial rust off. But if KD is anything like he was before the injuries, the Nets are just as good and arguably better than the Bucks. If they put Jared Allen on Giannis, they can slow him down enough for KD and Kyrie to do their thing and win a series. Jared Allen isn't an amazing player yet, but he's a great rim protector and is still very young, so will only be better next season. A Nets-Bucks matchup is really a toss-up for me. Considering we haven't seen that much play yet, there's no way to tell. But being the 2 strongest rosters in the East, in my opinion, that would be a fun playoff matchup that could go either way. While the Nets, in my opinion, are the best Eastern Conference team besides the Bucks, as I said in my previous video on the East as a whole, there are still plenty of other teams who will be competitive. And while I would give the edge to the Bucks against them, we've already seen the Heat upset them in 5. And Bam Adebayo is probably one of the best players to match up with Giannis. Even though he isn't nearly as good as Giannis, Adebayo is a great defender, both interior and perimeter, and will give Giannis a challenge every time the ball comes up the court. And with all the talent in the East, it's hard to tell who will and won't be able to beat the Bucks this early on. Unfortunately, even if the Bucks are able to make it out in the East, it only gets harder after that. The Western Conference right now is really competitive. And while there is an obvious favorite team with the Lakers, even teams in the level below them could have a good chance against the Bucks in a 7-game series. Obviously, the Lakers are one of the only teams to have a player who's evenly matched with Giannis in AD, and they have enough offensive potency that losing to the Bucks in a 7-game series would be a surprise. The Clippers would also beat the Bucks if they had somehow managed to beat their LA counterpart, and it would just take their full team coordination, and they couldn't afford to have anyone choke, especially after losing Harrell. If the Nuggets have Murray playing at his playoff level from last season, and have improvements from MPJ and Bol Bol, the offense would be strong, especially with Jokic passing from the post. If the team is at their best, they could likely be the best fit to beat the Lakers, and in that case would easily beat the Bucks. Even though the Lakers are most likely going to make it, I could even see teams like the Mavs beating the Bucks. And the fact that the teams who most likely won't even be able to compete with the Lakers could possibly beat the Bucks, the chances for them winning are not looking too good, but you never know. As long as Giannis is still in his prime, whatever team he's on will at least make the playoffs. And while the Bucks aren't a very young team, Giannis still has plenty of good years left, and I think the team as a whole will be competitive for another 4 years or so. The chance that the Bucks will actually be able to win a championship in that time are low. It's important to keep in mind that there are 30 teams and not everybody can win. But if the Bucks are able to win a championship, will have a much greater impact on his legacy than if he won someplace else. I do think that if the Bucks hadn't added Holiday, Giannis likely would have not signed the extension and tested 2021 free agency. But with him staying on the team, even if he never wins a championship, his legacy will likely stay intact when if he goes to a place like Miami to win a championship, it would stain his legacy in a major way. The Bucks having Giannis makes the situation difficult for them. While they were able to make moves to improve the team and get Giannis to sign an extension, nothing is going to be easy for them in the future just due to the competitiveness of the league now. Do you think that the Bucks will be able to win a championship with Giannis staying on the team? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you like this video, leave a like if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.